How's it going, everyone? It's me, Vivi, and we are finally back to some more Kingdom Hearts 3, let's call it details, I guess. Alright, so we got a few interesting details regarding KH3. It surfaced these past couple of days. First thing I want to say, Famitsu, the edition from March 8th. It got released and got translated by KH13 staff member Mio-chan. Thank you. Now I'm gonna leave the link of Famitsu translated in the description below so you guys can check it out later. I'm simply going to go over the most interesting points brought up. The link system in KH3. This whole time I thought the link and summons would be two different things, but that is not the case. Link, I thought, would be like limits, you know, linking with characters, performing a certain set of abilities, right? And to me it looks like the link consumes all of your MP, which is very reminiscent to the limits from KH2. I mean, if you consume a bit of your MP, the link gets grayed out, right? Anyhow, summons and links are the same. Instead of the word summon, we now have a link. I don't know, I guess I got confused this whole time. I mean, Nomura said the word summons in the past, I guess that's why. So let's just move on to the quote from Famitsu. In Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, the dimensional link system allowed you to temporarily borrow the power of a distant ally, fulfilling certain conditions. Ariel and Meow Wow, among others who have connected to Sora's heart, will appear and do various effects. In Birth by Sleep, the D-Link system would let you link with characters you met. And these characters, while these different D-Links, they come with different set of commands, depending on the nature of the characters, their skill set. The D-Link in Birth by Sleep had its own orbs, used to refill the gauge. No MP bar in Birth by Sleep, right? As for the summons in Kingdom Hearts 1, you get them by either finishing a world or the Fairy Godmother by finding summon gems. In general, in KH1 we had 2 worlds, in which after completing it you obtain 2 summons, Tinkerbell and the Genie. In Kingdom Hearts 2, you find charms hidden in treasure chests, and you don't have to visit the world. For example, Chicken Little and Stitch, we don't have such worlds in Kingdom Hearts 2. And as for Kingdom Hearts 1, the summons, well, 2 of them were acquired after completing specific worlds. So how do we explain Ariel? Does this mean Atlantica is confirmed? We don't know. Could it be based off the second movie if it reappears? Well, looking at the timeline, the second film is like many years later, so I don't know how they would go with that. Maybe with the excuse that time doesn't flow the same in each world. What do you think? But I'm sure a lot of you fear Atlantica, so let's stop talking about Atlantica. To me, it looks like Ariel will eventually be obtainable by finding a treasure chest. But connected to Sora's heart, that part, it makes it seem like they'll have to meet? If we go with the timeline of the Little Mermaid, she got married as a human in KH2 during the credits scene. Her being back as a mermaid, well, I guess it's her nature, it's her powers. She was born as a mermaid. But anyways, as for the Dream Eater part, I'm guessing maybe as you progress, Sora will think back at the events of Dream Drop Distance, and with that he's going to form a link, and plus he did revisit the Dream Eaters at the end of Dream Drop Distance. So we can say he does have a connection to them. So for now, it looks like the Dream Eaters will only be part of the link system. Some of you might say, does this mean that Dream Eaters can exist in the realm of light? I'll probably make a separate video on that, but for now, perhaps it's possible? I mean, Riku's Dream Eaters were present at the world that never was. After Riku faced Ansem, he escaped the realm of sleep. But Riku having Dream Eaters perhaps had to do something with Sora, who was still asleep. And we have the whole situation with Cherith. Cherith was synthesized, so there's that. But like I said, I'll keep this topic for another video. So, other than Famitsu, we got more details, I guess a larger recap over on KH13. Thank you to the KH13 staff, by the way. Some of the info from this recap comes from Famitsu and some attendees from the D23 Expo. So I'm not going to read everything, of course, I'm gonna leave the link in the description below. So, they talked about how real lighting was used. They also mentioned how the characters would have detailed facial expressions. No more derp faces. Back then, all the expressions, the motions were placed manually. This time around, they have the tools to physically control to whatever extent they want. As for the character hairs, they also react with the environment. Rapunzel's hair flows through the wind. Rapunzel was used as an example. Not only her hair, but her clothes as well. It sounds funny to you like, duh, it's the PS4, what do you expect? But it's Kingdom Hearts. Reading details like these, it's something new for for us. The only taste of Kingdom Hearts 3 we've had so far was 0.2, and Kingdom Hearts 3 is of course improving on that, at least for the character designs. I mean, look at Mickey from 0.2 and KH3. Which one do you prefer? Sora_Donald, one of the attendees, compared the rare Heartless, which I did mention in my previous video, to the 13 mushrooms. Tai Yasue said each of them will have its own mission. How do we differentiate them? Well, the different fruit on their heads, they look like pudding, by the way. And these different fruits on their heads, we can ride them. That's pretty much all they shared about these Heartless. As for the gummy missions, I did talk about that in my previous video, but one slight detail which was not really explained. The combat phase, they noticed about, well, more than 30 enemies. Some of you might think that's too little, but we don't know the size of these enemies. And like I said in my previous video, 2 phases, combat and search phase. The search phase allows the player to search for roots and treasure. Like, I'm actually looking forward to that. That's something new. I wasn't really a huge fan of the gummy ships, especially the first game. It was so plain. To see them turning this into like an open world segment, that I like. Square Enix also acknowledged the fact that the series lacked NPCs, like, oh look, non-playable characters for the first time. They talked a bit about the Kingdom of Corona. One of the attendees, while Sora_Donald, compared the bumping to Final Fantasy 15, how you can avoid collisions to these NPCs. Next thing, Yasue said that KH3 is a whole new league of its own, different than the other KH titles. He believes each world is equal to one previous game, and his favorite world is not announced yet. Going for Frozen. I mean, it's an overrated film. I mean, it's gonna happen. I'm expecting a Frozen reveal at E3. Just wait. Now, what previous game is he talking about? 0.2? Nomura in the past took back what he said, that 0.2 would be the length of a Kingdom Hearts 3 world. For proof, let me read the quote. I get the impression that there are way more things to do than expected. Volume-wise, how big would you say this game is? They were talking about 0.2 back in 2016, Nomura. At first I was saying it will be the length of one world. That one world being Kingdom Hearts 3, it was assumed, okay? But when I did a playthrough from start to finish to check it, I thought this is actually pretty substantial. I know there are some out there expecting it to be over in 30 minutes like a demo, but that's absolutely not the case. There's story advancement and lots of cutscenes, so even though there aren't that many worlds, I believe you will be able to fully enjoy the new Kingdom Hearts. This was, like I said, back from June 2016. Just how big is KH3? I want the game to be at least between 40 to 50 hours. 40 hours if you speedrun the game, I guess, if you rush it, and 50 hours if you take longer. You know, explore the areas, try to find treasures. That's pretty much what I do. Last thing, do not get confused. Kingdom Hearts 3 does not only have 10 worlds. A lot of people have been confused about this. They like misread one of the translations. Nomura had said that Kingdom Hearts 3 was prepared to have more worlds. Well, they prepared more worlds than Kingdom Hearts 2, and this was explained back in 2015. And in 2017, Nomura explained that there would be less Disney worlds. So we're currently looking at more original worlds and less Disney. But will the total exceed 15? We'll find out eventually. So with that being said, guys, all of the links to the articles will be in the description below. If you have any other questions, leave everything in the comments section below. And as always, I've been Vivi, and thank you so much for watching.